So you may have seen some interesting quotes online and on social media, which a lot of people I think have interpreted as Régis Lebris leaving the door open for Sunderland to try and make a move to sign Lazio's Matteo Guendouzi in the January transfer window. I was at the press conference, and so I thought I'd do a little video kind of bring you up to speed with what was said and how I kind of interpreted. So Guendouzi, of course, Lazio midfielder, formerly of Arsenal, you may remember him playing for Arsenal, worked with Lebris at Lorient, and that's kind of where the story starts. So someone who were interested in Guendouzi in the summer, but for a multitude of reasons it didn't happen. Lazio's asking price was very big. They didn't want to sell Guendouzi at that point. As it happened, Sunderland were able to sign Granit Xhaka and Habib Diarra, and it kind of worked out well for everyone. But interestingly, the links have re-emerged in Italy over the last couple of weeks because Guendouzi hasn't had a brilliant season for Lazio so far. There are some suggestions that their stance may be softening and that they may be looking to raise some funds in January, and Guendouzi might be a good option for them to do that. And so inevitably the link to Sunderland has come back round. So this was put to Régis Lebris yesterday. Now, usually he always kind of gives short shrift to transfer rumours, especially if it's about individual players. And he mostly did that yesterday, and I think this is the most important point. He made very clear that Sunderland at this stage aren't talking about specific targets for the January transfer window. This is something both him and Director of Football Florent Gassolfi have been really clear on. There was a huge amount of change at the summer, and at this stage they're still learning about the number of players they brought in. They're still learning about the players who, as of yet, haven't massively had an opportunity at Premier League level. So they're still discussing the squad. Yes, they're analysing and assessing targets in the background, but they haven't really specified yet which positions they're going to go for, and more specifically, which players they're going to go for. So it's a bit premature to be talking about Guendouzi or any other player. And this is what kind of got tongues wagging. Lebris did say that Guendouzi was a player he was still in contact with. Now, I really don't think he was talking about, at this stage, about the January transfer window, but he was making the point more generally that the pair of them have quite a strong relationship from their time at Lorient when Guendouzi was in the academy. Guendouzi is someone obviously clearly looks up to Lebris. He was on record earlier this year when he was asked about Lebris' success at Sunderland, saying he wasn't surprised, saying how impressed he was with Lebris' attention to detail, the hours he put in, his tactical acumen. So it's clear that there's a relationship there, and I just wonder maybe there could be a little bit of a parallel from last January when Lebris was able to lean on his rapport with Enzo Lefebvre to get him into the club. Now, at the moment, I don't see midfield as a huge priority for Sunderland, but to be fair, that could change. If you're looking in the long term, there's obviously some doubts about Daniel's future, and in that case, you probably would need another midfielder. So this is a really interesting one. I think that maybe some of the comments have been misinterpreted a little bit from some of what I've seen, but it definitely is the case that Lebris had the option to shut this one down and he didn't. So I just wonder if he is quite keen to leave that door open. So yeah, it's one that I wouldn't be getting carried away about, but it's definitely one to monitor over the next couple of months. And yeah, another exciting Sunderland transfer rumour, I guess.